Welcome back. All right, news of the day video for all you fine people on the internet for your Monday. It is February the 23rd. We'll go ahead. We'll start at the top of the board. That is normally how these things work. Mikko Rantanen. Sounds like he's going to be out for a while. The exact timeline is yet to be revealed. It looks like he'll miss at least the first 2 games back for Dallas. Dallas plays on Wednesday at home against Seattle, so looks like he'll miss that game. They do not play on Thursday, so we'll see how long he ends up being out. Sounds like it's going to be a minimum of a week. Faxa is okay. So Faxa looks like it's going to jump right back into the lineup for Dallas. I did see one report saying he'd be a game-time decision, but sounds like he should be in the lineup for the Dallas Stars as action gets back underway on Wednesday. Josh Norris. Good news for Buffalo fans. He is set to return Wednesday against the New Jersey Devils. Norris, of course, when he has played, he's been highly effective for Buffalo. Buffalo team that was red hot, and Rasmus Dahlin said that after Sweden was eliminated from the Olympics, that his first thought was about Buffalo. So his thoughts went straight back to the Buffalo Sabres, what they've been doing, the run they've been on, and that's fantastic. So Buffalo will be looking to get things back underway. They're at New Jersey on Wednesday, and then I don't think they play on Thursday. No, they do not play on Thursday. So, yeah, getting Norris back in the lineup should help. We'll see how he does against the Devils. The Colorado Avalanche looking to become the latest team in the National Hockey League to record 100 consecutive days at the top of the standings. They are a week away from 100 days in that number 1 spot. The most recent team to get to 100 days was the Boston Bruins in 2022-2023, where they ended up with 121 days at the top. The last time that a Western NHL team was number 1 for 100 days was Detroit back in 2007-2008. So it's been a while. And for Colorado, I have no doubt they'll get there. There is, of course, the reality that both Minnesota and Dallas are within striking distance of Colorado. But I do think Colorado, at the very least, is good for 100-plus days at the top of the NHL standings. Charlie Lindgren has been activated from injured reserve by the Washington Capitals, so that's great news. Thompson was fine for the Olympics, and Lindgren is now healthy, so that definitely means that for Stevenson and Bjorklund, they're going to stay in the AHL for now, and the Washington Capitals will have their tandem back. Carlson is listed as day-to-day with a lower body injury, so no idea how much he's going to miss, but if he's listed as day-to-day, it's unlikely he plays on Wednesday at home against Philadelphia. Pierre-Luc Dubois as well was talking about how he feels like him having missed the first half of the season and the team still having a decent record. It bodes well for the rest of the way for the team. A lot of teams coming out of this break right now very confident and saying all the right things about turning things around for this approximately 25-game stretch. Most teams, it's around a 25-game stretch that's left. There's enough time for a team to go on a run like Washington, and we'll see how everything shakes down from there. Ryan Reeves has been activated from injured reserve by the San Jose Sharks. Reeves has been a good fourth-line option for them this year. Nice to see him staying in the National Hockey League and playing well enough. And I think he's had, in San Jose, one of the better seasons he's had recently. So definitely was the right move for San Jose to pick him up. Sidney Crosby's status at this point is unknown. So he didn't play in the gold medal game, which tells me it's not a minor injury. Like, I've seen the debate online about whether or not it's a minor injury, but if it was just some minor injury, I think he would have been out there. I think if he could have skated and shot and played his normal game just with some aches and pains or minor nagging injury, I think he would have been out there. What this does mean is that Pittsburgh's going to have different plans. Dan Muse saying Raquel at center is a contingency plan, and at practice that seemed to be the case. Raquel was centering a line with Avery Hayes and Brian Rust. So Avery Hayes, who had a good debut with Pittsburgh coming up from the AHL, we'll see what he can do coming out of the break. But Raquel could be a very important fixture for the Pittsburgh Penguins if Crosby's going to be out for any period of time. Pittsburgh, of course, looking to make the playoffs and win their first round in a long time. So having Crosby out of the lineup is going to impact their ability to make the playoffs. They still have very good odds, but it does hurt without Crosby. So we'll see how Raquel does if, in fact, there's going to be a Crosby absence. Because, like I said, we don't know at this point in time how long Crosby might be out, or is he going to miss that first game back. It does look like a lot of the Olympians are probably going to miss that first game back, so maybe okay. Brock Besser is expected to ditch the non-contact jersey tomorrow. So sounds like he'll be back in the lineup for Vancouver, and Vancouver needs it. You've got Lecker-Mackey having season-ending shoulder surgery. So the Canucks injury list just continues to grow, and big names, and Lecker-Mackey is a good young prospect who could shoot the puck. Lankinen's return is being delayed by the snowstorm in the east, which I haven't heard anything about that's going to do to the NHL schedule, but there's always the potential that could have an effect on start times and postponements and anything else that might happen. And with how squashed the schedule is coming out of the break, you really don't want to be canceling or postponing any games at this point in time. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that snowstorm has that effect on start times or on those games being played on that date. So with that snowstorm delaying Lankinen getting into Vancouver, the expectation for Wednesday against Winnipeg is that it'll be Tolopilo and Patera that will be the tandem for the Vancouver Canucks. Tolopilo, I would think, will get the start there. He had a good run going into the break. He's looked good in Abbotsford as well. I can say that from seeing him playing in Abbotsford. And so, yeah, I'm rooting for the guy. I absolutely am, because there's still a lot of, well, they should have kept Shelov's talk. And I honestly think Tolopilo has enough upside to justify Shelov's being sent off to Pittsburgh. Josh Morrissey. So I did see some people cutting Morrissey, and I'm not saying on the channel necessarily either, but I did see some people cutting, oh, Morrissey's not even in the Canadian lineup because he was hurt. I know he's listed as a scratch, but he was hurt, and that seems to be backed up now that he's not expected to be in the lineup for Wednesday's game against Vancouver. The timeline is not decided as of yet. It sounds like he's meeting with team doctors, and then after he's met with team doctors, he could join the team on the road trip. So they're going to take a look. It said it was an upper body injury, so they're going to take a look and see if he's going to be able to return. If it's one of those things he can play through or not, it sounds like is what's going to be decided there. So the Winnipeg Jets could be short their best defenseman. The tough part for that is they're already pretty far out of the playoff hunt, and Morrissey is one of their productive players. They've had like 4 guys they've been able to rely on for production all year. Morrissey's one of them, and so him being out of the lineup definitely hurts their team as they're looking to try to get on some kind of a run coming out of the break. Speaking of changes coming out of the break, the roster freeze/trade freeze was lifted last night. We have not seen a trade as of yet. Lots of roster movement, lots of players being called up, players being sent down. I didn't put it all on the board because there's a ton of them, and it's Monday. The NHL doesn't play till Wednesday. So there's probably guys being called up and sent down who are going to be reversed on Wednesday. And so there's no point in me putting the names on the board now when I know a lot of the guys being sent down could be brought right back up for games on Wednesday or Thursday, and vice versa. Players being brought up that aren't going to play in the NHL to get sent right back down. It would be interesting to see if the NHL would ever consider. So this year now we've got it so that if a player's sent down to the AHL, they have to play a game before they can be brought back up to stop with the paper transactions. Would the NHL ever consider making it so that you have to have a player on your NHL roster for a certain period of time? You can't guarantee they play a game, but would they consider that as well? Because there's a lot of players get called up and just sent right back down. But at any rate, yeah, that definitely does happen. I don't think the NHL necessarily is concerned with that. That was just changed in the CBA. It'd be a while if they ever did decide to make a change like that. But the trade deadline is next Friday. Now, one thing to consider is I'm going to a concert tonight. So since I'm going to a concert tonight, now it's local, so I'm not going to be in Vancouver. I'm not going to be like really far away from home. But sometimes when I leave the home, things happen. So if there's a trade while I'm at the concert, you're welcome. If there isn't, I guess it's a quiet trade market. But we have until next Friday to see the moves being made. Already a lot of discussion over who's going to get moved, who isn't, and all this fun stuff and all the speculation that surrounds that. The part I'm more interested in too is when we see these guys with pending contract expirations as of July 1st being traded, are we then going to see them sign extensions, or are we going to see anybody become an unrestricted free agent on July the 1st? I'm starting to wonder just how July 1st live stream is going to go this year, but we could really have some fun with it. We really, really could. If need be, if the UFA market is just not great, maybe we do the live stream outside. Maybe we do it out in the backyard with the rabbits. I don't know. Because there may not be a whole lot going on. So if I have a bunch of bunny rabbits running around at my feet, might make it a more entertaining live stream when all the UFAs already signed contracts before July 1st, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Great growth on the channel over the last 24 hours, and great growth on the Entertainment Guy channel over the last 24 hours too, so I'm pretty happy about that. But thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Hit like and subscribe in the event you may not have done so already. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you again soon.